They say a smart man, he learns from his own mistakes, and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. I'm the wise man. So why I decided to further my education, my qualifications in the electrical field, why I decided to become an electrical tester. I've said this many times before, I'm going to say it again. If you're unsure of your destination, just look at where someone else has ended up. If you're on the same path as them, if they're older than you, that is your destination. For example, if you're on benefits and you're a single mum, and you know a woman who was on benefits and she was a single mum and now she's 60 years old and she's broke, well, guess what you're going to be? Unless you make some changes. If you plan to just be a single mum, what do they say on these dating apps? Mama bear, or just all this nonsense and that, like a full-time mummy. If that's all you plan to be, a full-time mummy, and you don't plan to make any changes in that, well, you're going to be like that 60-year-old woman that has got 6 grandchildren now and they're all broke and that, and they come from a poor family, and that's going to be you unless you make some changes and that. I just watch and observe other people, and if I'm on a similar path to them, if I don't want to end up at their destination, I need to get off that path. This is why man had to get away from Holmes Haringey. I had a white man say to me, cheer up. After I came out of the office, screw face, tough face me. Only 45 years left. He must, I think man's 20 years old. These times was like 25 or something. Only 45 years left of this. And then you'll be able to retire and that. Nah, fam. I'm not hanging around. Because there's certain people that will be working at a company for 40 years. With the councils and that, it's a job for life. You get it? Most people don't expect to get made redundant or get fired or sacked and them things there. So it's a job for life. Whatever path you're on, and you know someone that was on a similar path, and you don't like their destination, get off that path, blood, because it's the inevitable. History repeats itself, blood. How many people do you know right now? Their parents were broke. They come from a working class, poor background and that. Where have they ended up? How many people do you know that are doctors and lawyers and that? I guarantee you, their parents are probably doctors and lawyers, or they come from that sort of batch of people. You understand what I'm trying to say? High tier earners and that. You are what you hang around with. You're walking down a specific path. If you know someone that's on that path and you don't want to end up, if you know someone that was on a similar path that you're walking down right now and you don't want to end up in their destination, get off that path, blood. And if you know someone that is reached the destination that you want to be on, destination that you want to be at, walk down the same path as them. Don't get it twisted. It ain't gonna be easy though. Depends on how high you're trying to go. So anyway, man, used to watch and observe obviously some of the electricians and that. And what happened was, a lot of the electricians who are older, 45, 50, they, once they're done with all the electrical wiring, and they call it house bashing, which is lifting up floorboards, rewiring properties, drilling, chasing, all this nonsense. And once they get to 45 years old and 50 years old, they decide, you know what, until I retire, I'm just going to be an electrical tester. Do you know why? It's not because they're bored of it. Some of you lot might think, oh, they're bored of it, or they just want to change it. Do you know why? Because their body is too mash up and broke up. Man are getting hip replacements, man are getting knee replacements and that. It takes a toll on your body after a while. Constantly lifting up floorboards, constantly on your hands and knees and that, drilling walls, breathing in all that rascal dust. Takes a toll on your body. So I said to myself, as soon as I became fully qualified as an electrical tester, let me give you a little timeline and that. You know, let me start it from the beginning. So 16 years old, come out of school. Went to college. The reason why I decided to do electrical is because my mum said that basically there's one family member, he's doing all right for himself, got a nice car, nice property and that. Why don't you become an electrician? I didn't know what I wanted to do. So thanks to my mum, I became an electrician because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Went to college, studied the electrical thing, done my level 2, done part of my level 3, got in trouble on the roads, dropped out of college, went to prison, came back to college after I came out of prison, continued my studies, passed all of my qualifications and that. These times man's like, 21, 22. And I decided, you know what? I'm not even going to bother wait 5, 10 years to do my electrical testing course, because apparently it's a hard course. The people that in my college said, well, most electricians, they don't take the electrical testing course until they've been an electrician for 5 years. But I'm not most people, blood. So this is the thing in life, yeah. You need to stop listening to other people's weak advice, blood. Well, most people wait 5 years. Why am I waiting 5 years? You don't know who the fuck man is, blood. So I didn't listen to what they said at college. They told me at college in the admission center where you go to sign up for courses that most people wait 5 years. Fuck most people. Most people gonna end up broke. Man, not gonna end up broke, blood. Most people are mediocre. Man, not mediocre, blood. Yeah, I was born average, but you know what? Man done the work to become more than average, blood. So anyway, I didn't listen to what they said. Let me tell you something right now. If you have any dreams, and it could be something small, it could be something big. Don't listen to what people say, oh, well, most people, but just go and do it. What's the worst? You're gonna fail. But it's better to start now and fail earlier than leave it for 5 years and you possibly might even pass first time. Or fail or pass within after 5 years. You're better off starting earlier, failing earlier. At least then, when you put in the work, you will pass earlier. We got a long time on this planet, but at the same time, we got a short time on this planet. Don't waste time, fam. So anyway, man studied the electrical testing course. I thought I was going to pass the first exam first time. Sat the first course. Sat the first exam. Then I sat the second exam. After I sat the second exam, I went back for my results for the first exam. And I ended up failing, so I had to take the exam again 5-6 months later. And in between that time, I was studying virtually every single day. Because I didn't want to put myself in a position where I'm 45, 50 years old. My body's all mashed up and broke up and that. So I feel like I need to work a job that's easier. So then there's a pressure on me to have to go on sit courses and sit exams and that. And me, naturally, I just believe in progressing as a person anyway. I don't believe in just being an electrician and that's it. That's the be all and end all. I believe, okay, be an electrician, then do electrical testing. After that, I went to uni, studied electronic engineering, just got a HNC. So I've got a foundation degree. I don't have a bachelor's or nothing. Got my little foundation degree. Then whilst I was there, that's what I'm saying, you have to try new things as well. When man was at uni, I started a vending machine business. If I didn't start the vending machine business, I wouldn't have had the confidence to, okay, let me buy a property before I plan to resign, when I actually got fired beforehand. Let me start a vending machine business. And okay, when I start a vending machine business, I got a little bit more extra income because I'm a self-employed electrician as well. Let me buy a property in that, just in case. Obviously, I feel a bit more comfortable being self-employed and having that extra income on the side, just in case I can't afford to pay the mortgage and that. So when you try new things, you venture into new places and that, bro, you spread your wings, fam. Nothing bad can happen from it, man. You might even make a mistake, but it might be a good mistake. Some people say, oh yeah, going to uni and that was a waste of money for me because I paid like 5 grand for the course. But look, I started a vending machine business. Yeah, that failed, but you know what? It put me in a position where I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I want to get into the property game now. So certain times in life, you have to make mistakes, man. You got to try new things constantly, blood. Don't be one of these people, man, just want to just exist, live a normal, easy life and that. Telling you, if your philosophy is to live a normal, easy life, and you ain't trying to live a hard life beforehand so that you can get to the stage where you live in a normal, easy life, blood, I'm telling you, at some point in your life, when you're an old person, you're going to live a hard life because you're going to be sitting inside a freezing cold yard, complaining about how the government is not helping you and people of the similar age to you, blood. Like a man like Andrew Tate said, there's pain to become important and there's pain in not becoming important, blood. And as I always like to add on top of that, if you do not make sacrifice in your youth, you will suffer in your elderly age, blood. I promise you. I guarantee you, I promise you, blood. All of the people them that you see suffering, all of them reaction videos that I do, the cost of living reaction videos, blood. None of them have made sacrifice throughout their youth. None of them, blood. Or they didn't make enough. They certainly didn't make enough. Because there's no way any of those people that are moaning about cost of living and that, none of them have 5, 6 properties that they're sitting on because they bought them 20 years ago. They're 60 years old. They bought them when they was 40 or whatever. None of them, blood. Find me one person who has 5, 6, 10 properties, whatever. They're sitting on a lot of properties and that because they made sacrifice. Find me one person that's moaning about the cost of living. Do you know what? There might be some people that are moaning because they just don't like the fact that the price has gone up. Find me one person that is freezing in their yard because they cannot afford. There's some people, they're sitting in a cold yard because they're just cheap asses. I was talking about the people that cannot afford to turn on the gas, turn on electric fan heaters and that. Because some people just live in houses that just have electric, no gas. There's certain people, certain man sitting there thinking, I don't know if I can heat my house this winter and that. That's madness, blood. The reason why they live in this reality and that is because they never made no sacrifice throughout their youth. It's impossible. There's no way, bruv. You can make sacrifice throughout your youth. You're a hard worker. You save your money. And you know what I'm saying? Like you're sensible throughout your whole entire life and still fail live in a freezing cold yard. It's impossible, blood. It's impossible. Inflation ain't that high, blood. But what happens is everyone just wants to, was it YOLO? Live every day like it's your last or something. You only live once, should I say? Just dumb. Man are reversing all the way down the road, you know. A car could come and smash into his car, but anyway. But yeah, that's the reason why I went for the electrical testing course as soon as. Furthermore, I didn't even wait until I got fully qualified and I passed everything. Well, actually, technically, I was still an apprentice and that. It was a weird one. I actually was fully qualified, actually. But then I was still an apprentice, technically. But anyway, in that time, leading up to me getting my qualification, getting that bits of paper and that, I decided, you know what, I'm going to become an electrical tester and I'm not even going to wait. I'm not going to waste my time waiting. And it just goes to show, people will hate on you, you know. Like I said, I was an apprentice at the time. And whilst I was riding around in my mentor's van, I'm the passenger, he's the driver, I'm reading the guidance note 3. This is an electrical testing Bible. You got to know that book back to front, basically. My man starts getting jealous and that. This is what I'm saying about people, blood. You got to fuck the opinion of other people. Imagine me thinking to myself, you know what, forget, because he told me, why do you want to be an electrical tester? We don't need to be electrical testers for this job role and that. See, he's programmed to just work this job for the rest of his life. He don't see himself having another job outside of Holmes or Haringey and that. He's telling me, forget about the electrical testing course. Forget about being an electrical tester. We don't need that qualification for this job. Because he just sees himself as being an electrician for Holmes Haringey the rest of his entire life until he retires and that. I'm thinking to myself, nah. Imagine I listened to his dumb advice and thought, yeah, cool. Forget about that. I don't even talk to the man no more. I don't have his number. I haven't seen him in years. I have not had a conversation with him since the day I left Holmes or Haringey, blood. That's like 6 years ago. This guy is not putting no money in my bank account. This guy is not helping me get no properties and that. If I died tomorrow, he would not be at my funeral. Why the fuck am I going to care about this guy's opinion? It's just someone that I met at work. And even if it was a family member and that, like I said, they're not putting no money in my bank account. They might turn up at my funeral just to confirm that I'm dead. Because you know people out here is haters and that. They're not doing nothing for me, blood. You gotta, in this world, you gotta do what the hell you want, blood. Born alone, die alone. As a man, no one is coming to help you out. No one's coming to save you, blood. No one's coming to knock on your door. Come, man. You know, let's make something of our lives and that, man. Yeah? You might have one friend that might do that one time. If he sees you're not with it, blood, he's going to drop you out, fam. I'll drop you out. Furthermore, I ain't hanging around with no one that's not doing nothing anyway. Any little dreams, goals, ambition, anything you want to do, Do it, blood. Because I guarantee you, these same people whose opinions that you're worried about, I guarantee you, let's say you didn't go through with what you wanted to go through with. In 5 years' time, you probably would have fell out with them. In 5 years' time, you probably wouldn't be as close with them. So why does it matter? Why does their opinion matter, blood? You understand what I'm trying to say? Think about all the people anyone that you've had as a friend in the past. Associate, friend, cousin that you grew up with and that. How many of those people from the age of naught, from the day you was born, everyone that you considered to be somewhat a little bit close, associate, friend, cousin, whatever. How many of those people right now are still in your life? How many of them people there, if you stop phoning them for 2 or 3 months, how many of them people there would phone you? How many of them people there are phoning you to come around for drinks? Come on, I got this barbecue and that. They don't hear from you for 6 months. They just call in to check in, text you to check in to see if you're all right. Hardly any. You probably couldn't even count that on one hand. And these are going to be the same people that you're worried about? Their opinion? Nah, fuck them, blood. Fuck them, blood. Imagine all them people there, like them little kids in your school and that you grew up with, or the people them that you grew up with on your estate, blood. How many of them are you chatting to right now? Probably none. Probably none. I remember my little sister had one little friend. They were tight. Talk all day long on the phone. You understand? Like, they were doing like WhatsApp video call, talking. And I said to myself, I'll give it a year, they probably ain't gonna be talking. Within a year or so, they're not talking. So what happens? Think about your best friend, your childhood your best friend in school. The person that you claim to be your best friend, is it BFF? Whether you're a man, whether you're a gal right now, your best friend, blood. Are you chatting to them right now? Your best friend in primary school, your best friend in secondary school. Are you chatting to them right now? No. And imagine you decided not to take up a rap career, a modeling career, a YouTube career, whatever career, because you was worried about the opinion of this person, blood. Whatever you need to do, fam, do it. Whatever you need to do, do it. Because when you're dead and buried in the ground, everybody is just going to continue their life within a couple of days. Done. Me, I'm a narcissist, as per my girlfriend calls me, yeah? I believe, I'm at the center of the universe, and if I was to die tomorrow, the earth would stop and everyone would be scratching their head, kicking cans on the street like, oh, what the fuck are we going to do? I believe, this is like the Truman Show, this is the JY show. Nah, I'm joking. The world is going to continue, blood. If I die tomorrow, or in 10 years' time, whatever, the world is going to continue, blood. So I'm not doing nothing to appease people and I'm getting twisted. You don't want to be alienating everyone around you and doing stuff that's offensive to people around you and that. But blood, at the end of the day, fam, you gotta do what you want to do in life, blood. Imagine before, I was making videos and that, and people were like, I'd think, oh, what are people at my taekwondo club gonna think and that? Blood, I don't even talk to anyone at my taekwondo club. Imagine. Now some of them might watch me, but I don't even talk to no one at my taekwondo club. You gotta just do what you need to do in life, man. Don't worry about no one else, blood. They're not paying your bills, blood. And that's the way it is, man. Stay wise. Done now.